Hi, I'm Adriana Galinek, your embodiment and relationship coach, and this is my podcast. I spend most of my time reconnecting relationships, diving deep between the land of energy, and helping those couples, ignite that spark back in the bedroom. This podcast is for the universal, spellbinding people who love a little woo-woo and the thunder of truth. You're listening to Love, Sex, and Energy. Let's jump in. Hey, welcome to another episode of Love, Sex, and Energy. I'm your host, Adriana Galinek, and today we're talking about how to be a playful maiden. Whoa, playful maiden, what's that about? That's pretty exciting, right? Well, maiden is someone that's young, that's unmarried, that's exciting, that's vibrant, that's playful, that's full of energy and certainty and confidence in between, someone that has a fiery kind of energy about them, but also very playful. Now, being a maiden is a great place to start when you are looking at changing things in the bedroom. And I've had a client that we've been speaking about this as well, about how we can, life is great, life is amazing, but how can I change it up? I want more of myself to be playful. I want to feel, I guess the words she was using she couldn't even express the words that she wanted, but from what I gathered, she was trying to have this conversation with me, was about her being desired. Now, who doesn't want to be desired, right? Who doesn't want to be wanted and doted upon and needed and, all that fun stuff? Now, if you've got a partner out there, or even yourself who's in the dating world, whether looking for love or whether you're married, it's still the same. Because if I was to talk about one person I know who is not married and seems very controlling, very masculine, very do, which is really hard when you are trying to find a partner. The man doesn't want to marry the man, right? And it doesn't matter what gender or what sex you are, we're talking about energy. So just make that clear. We're talking about energetics. And when you are fully controlled, you're not stepping back into your feminine energy, because there is a place for masculine and feminine energy, the yin and the yang. Okay. Now, when we are trying to be playful maidens, we have to remember that if I was to take you back, and how about myself, take myself back, which is not so long ago, let's be honest, let's go 20 years ago, the energy that I had then was not now how hard or fast or things I could do run using that type of energy. We're talking about the sexual energy inside, the flirtatious energy, when you are starting to date and you're so excited and you're like, oh, what am I going to wear? And am I going to put lipstick? Am I going to put perfume on? And you're changing outfits. Should I, shouldn't I? And then you go out and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited, but you don't know why you're so excited. You don't know why this is all building up, but this tension and this energy starts building up that we almost become naturally, elated to kind of be free and flowy, and we seem to be agreeable to everything. And can you guys relate to that? Taking yourself back. Well, that is being like a free maiden. And if you were to bring yourself back to where we are, so let's talk about me. I'm in my 40s now. So we're talking about where I'm at energetically. And do I honestly say, am I a maiden all the time? Nope, definitely not, because I pick and choose a time for when I activate this. And those who've had kids kind of lose it along the way, or those that are at that time where they want to get married and, they kind of go into this weird, it's this weird energy. They just flip over and then they become so controlling about the way things look, the way things have to be. They have all this control that they don't realize that the control that they're building is this energetic field that sometimes really hard to break. We often call them bringing down the walls, because when we have kids, our bodies change, our hormones change. We are not the same people as when we were 20. And this is the mistake that often comes into my practice, where they come in, they're like, I don't know why he doesn't listen to me. I don't know why. And they just blame the guy. But in actual fact, are they doing the work on themselves? No. And I often say, hey, what's your sex life like? I don't mean to be prodding too much, but just, what's your sex life like? Oh, well, we only do it on this day and we don't want to do it on that day. And he does this and he does that. And even the explanation, the energy around it is not even playful and sensual and sexual. And it's just, so if the man wants to come, your partner wants to come to you and you're just so fired up, well, naturally that's going to be energetically, it's not going to be a win for anybody. Let's be honest, right? You become resentful and it becomes into a chore, and then you're like, oh my gosh, Sunday is approaching. Heck, I'm going to have to deliver. And then you become in that icky kind of energy feeling. Now, I'm not asking you to be a bimbo by any means, but if you really tap into your energy and take yourself back, what were you like in your 20s? Or in your teens? So if you married young and you met someone, you've been with them for 20-something years, what were you like? Were you like flirty, fun, worry-free, adventurous, never saying no? Yeah, let's try this and let's try that. That same energy, if you can tune into that energy, it will really help make a change in your bedroom. It will make change into igniting that sexual energy. So when the person that I was working with said to me, how can I change it up a little bit? And here are the questions. I asked, are you being playful? Do you want to be playful? Have you tried using toys? If not, why not? And basically, they've never stepped into the zone of that kind of energy or that possibility that things could work, because it was really interesting that they are not connected to their sexuality because they don't even know what they want, because they've never tried anything other than what they've had. And I'm not saying go and try and sleep with other people. That's not what I'm saying. It's that they haven't used the words, haven't been able to communicate how to express themselves. Now, in my Awaken Heroine program, we do a lot of work around releasing past and trauma work and going through that. And the reason why we do that is because a lot of the time when people are feeling stuck or they're feeling down or they're feeling like, they can't move forward, is because they're holding on to the past. And the partner is often blamed for their past. So inevitably it just shoots to them, and they basically cop the brunt of them feeling unhappy, even though it's not the partner's fault. It's within themselves. So I like to work with that because I separate that from how they're feeling towards their partner and showing them that it doesn't have to be like that. We can do it with one half, but we can also separate and grow the other half. So we're at the stage where we're growing and we're experimenting and we're playful. And I gave them some questions. So like, what do you wear at night before you go to bed? What's your outfit choice? I know a few people. Flannels, socks, and a girl who did flannel socks and dressing gown. And I said to her, wow, that's a fortress. Like, your man would not even want to attempt that. Like, that's like no-go zone. See you later. I'm shut shop. And I said, well, how do you get intimacy started? Like, how does that work for you? And she'd be like, well, I just wear less clothing. And that kind of hints that she's ready, which is really interesting, really, really interesting. And then some of them are in flannels because that's just, they're getting older. They're not young anymore and they're feeling the cold. And I'd be like, okay, for first thing, I would change what you go to bed with, right? Because you got to feel sexy within yourself. You got to love who you are. You got to love the skin that you're in, and you also got to love and embrace the new you. And if you want to be a maiden, you want to be flirty and sexy, was she wearing flirty and sexy clothes before bed, or was she wearing flannels, full socks, and a dressing gown before she went to bed? Can you all visualize that? Can you see that? Yeah. I can't imagine that it would be very sexy to go and unravel that for the first time, literally a chainsaw to break through. So what does that do to the other person? The husband or the partner or the boyfriend starts going, oh, this is too hard. I'm going to put this in the too hard basket because I'm just going to be disappointed and rejected anyway. Oh, yeah, we forget that the men feel as though that they're rejected. And the men need to feel as that they're doing their job. This is what they're built for. They want to be the man. They want to be the hero. And I love to show couples how they can just by changing what you're wearing, your routine, what you normally wear during the day, when you change things up, the husband starts noticing something a little bit different. And then you start opening up and becoming more vulnerable and being a bit more flirty. And, we go into so many different variants depending on where you are in your relationship, depending on what stage and cycle you're in, and how far you want to explore that. I often, those who have never explored anything or sometimes are a little bit, frightened or embarrassed to share and explore their bodies, or they feel ashamed because we've been taught do not do that, that's only for one thing. And there's a real concern around that when you're being brought up to think that it's a shameful thing when it's such a beautiful thing. And when you are sharing this experience, your partner has chosen you because they love you. Not because of what size you are, not because of your battles and your scars and all the rest of it. They love you. So when you're loving yourself and feeling that you are a part of who you need to be, it becomes almost like a joyous experience because it's fun and exciting for both of you. And the men would like to probe a little bit more and get to know you and your body more. But if you've got someone that's having like a triple lockdown on their, wearing everything else but a chastity belt, it becomes almost deflating for the partner and the husband because they don't actually know what to do, where to go, what does that look like for me, and how can I experience this? And I can guarantee you, if you say to your partner, hey, I want to experience more things in the bedroom, I just don't know what that is. Something so simple. I can guarantee you they'll be like, okay, what do you want? I don't know. And then they'll be full energy. They would like shock to their system because I can guarantee you they would want to try, but they just don't want to feel like they're forcing themselves or, making you feel uncomfortable. The other thing that I find really interesting, when we are trying to be maidens and we're trying to be floaty fun, the other objective I always get is, hey, if I'm doing this, if I'm showing that I'm flirty and fun and exciting, he just wants sex straight away. Ladies, put your hands up out there if you're hearing the same thing, I just put my hand on his leg and that was enough. So what women do is we shut ourselves off because we don't want the whole shebang, we just want the playfulness. And it's often that the playfulness, the maiden, the excitement, the flirtiness, the being able to role play and build upon that energy is what women want. Are you listening, men? That's what women want. They want to feel like they're wanted and needed, but it's not the end game. Whereas for men, it's the end game. And that's not for all men. Let's be real out there. Not every man. Some men are really tentative and they want to know how to please you. What does that look like? But for women, it's really hard, especially when they're trying to reconnect to themselves, trying to find out who they are, trying to do the research again and how to be playful, how to be sexy. What does that look like? There is so much unpacking and things to do. So men out there, if you are listening, support your lovely lady, your woman, and embrace her change and challenges that's ahead of her, because the women that I'm speaking to are wanting it. They just don't know how to ask for it. They don't know where to start, and they don't know how they can bring that spiciness and the sexiness back into the bedroom. And if that's you, please DM me. I'm happy to help, give you some quick tips or great language starters just to help you get it out there and start expressing yourself and asking for what you want. And there are different stages, and every couple is different, and every group is different, I guess. Every couple that I've worked with are different, and they're at different points of their lives, and they're needing different things. They're not all wanting the same. So when you are exchanging your energy with your partner, and that's all you want, you don't want the end game, but you want the chase, express that to them, because men feel that they are rejected when you don't want the end game. Whereas you can say, hey, let's stretch this out for a few hours. If Sunday morning is your ritual, let's bring it to Friday night and let them know that you want to be teased all day. And that could be a slight kiss on the neck, men. It could be a slap on the butt. It could be a nice cuddle, feeling like they're wanted, because once you do that, the women go, oh, it's not just the end game. He actually is paying attention to me. He's courting me. He's wooing me. All those old-fashioned things that we want is to be noticed, loved, and wanted. And that's for all women. They all want to be noticed, loved, and wanted. Because when you show that, and when you creating that energy space for us, we would give you tenfold. We would return that, embrace that energy. So going back to being a maiden, ask yourself, are you fun, flirty, and exciting? Or are you the complete opposite? And if you need that help, write 10 things that or things or memories of your earliest memories of when you were like that. What was the outcome? What was the outcome? Because the more you have sex and exchanging the energy, the more frequently you want it. If you're doing it once a month, it's not really exciting, is it? Let's be honest, that's a chore. So try bringing it into your relationship a little bit more. And if it's not the sex aspect of it, it's that creating that energy, the flirtiness. You might do it once a month, but for the full month, you might be teasing each other. You might be playing, you might be experimenting, you might be doing all this fun stuff. But women, let me tell you, if you start connecting to being a maiden and being playful, fun, and joyful, it will change so many things. And if you don't know how to do that, reach out to me. I will help you out. Okay, and that's all I have for today. So thank you so much for listening in, and remember to shine bright. If you have any questions, click all the links below and I'll reach out to you. Till next time, bye. And that's it for another episode of Love, Sex and Energy. Connect on all socials at Adriana Galinek. Hit the follow button, share with friends, and if you have some time, write a review. As they say, the energy flows in universal ways, so always remember to shine bright. Till next time, see ya.